I don't see the Eagles offseason slowing down anytime soon. I'm hearing some things that it looks like maybe Mike McDaniel and Brian Daboll are sort of the first couple of guys that the Eagles are going after in terms, or at least, at least interviewing in terms of the offensive coordinator. I'll start doing some stuff on that. We've got a ton of free agents and roster things that we need to talk about. But I want to stick at least one more time because it's wild out there. Talking a little bit about Jalen Hurts, and I know some of you have seen this because I think some of you even sent this to me in the comments. This is a comment LeSean McCoy made, but I want to play it because now we've also got a response from Brandon Graham that I want to play for you as well. And then, of course, Jalen Hurts himself. But this is LeSean McCoy talking about the playoff loss and talking about Jalen Hurts. And anyway, it's only about 20 seconds long. Let's take a listen.
Jalen Hurts. I gotta be honest, man. Like,
Oh,
As soon as McCoy says, I got to be honest, all the time. As soon as he says that, the next thing coming is, if not a flat out lie, just pure stupidity.
Jalen Hurts. I need you to be special. Make plays.
mm.
And then like I did a lot of digging, man. And I won't throw them under the bus here, but I know some people, right? And the problem is we can't do different exotic looks, different formations, different motions, because I'm hearing that he can't really do it.
Um, first, actually, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it. I really do. It's amazing to watch this channel grow the way it has been, closing in actually on 1,500 subscribers. So thank you to all of you. But first of all, LaShawn McCoy, long, long, long gone. I don't know that there are many Eagles that like him. There certainly aren't Eagles fans that like him. He's one of those guys when the Eagles are playing well, he likes to pretend he's a hardcore Eagle guy, but all he ever does is attack them. So no one's talking to him about Jalen Hurts. No one is saying any of this stuff to him about Jalen Hurts. And of course, anyone who knows anything, regardless of whether you think Jalen is a top 5 or top 10 quarterback, or you want to get into the things he does well and the things that maybe he struggles with, and all of that is fine. But no one can make the statement that LeSean McCoy just made unless you're like don't know anything about football, deeply ignorant of the game and of what Jalen has accomplished, or you just have an irrational hatred of the guy. And despite all the evidence to the contrary, you're going to talk nonsense about him because you're a seventh grade mean girl. That's kind of the vibe LeSean McCoy gives to me. He's just that's his personality. He's a backstabbing, gossiping child. I'm just saying there, little LeSean. So because you can look at it, right? We've got Sean Steichen and Kellen Moore going on to right. I have that right, right? Going on to head coaching jobs, doing amazing things with the offense. Jalen Hurts was number 2 in MVP voting in their first trip to the Super Bowl in 22. Had a phenomenal year, threw for over 3,700 yards and all that. They did a lot of different things that have been taken out of this offense. We it's on tape, LaShawn. It's on tape, the things Jalen brings to the game and the things that he does and the things he's perfectly fine with doing, including the simple act of being under center, which I don't want to digress into this because it could be another video, but it is my belief that a lot of that type of stuff that we heard this season about, Jalen doesn't want to run and Jalen doesn't want to be under center because he's not comfortable. And then of course the anti Jalen and really to a big degree anti-Philly in terms of the fans and the players. Local media runs with that. I think a lot of that came from Kevin Patullo. I think a lot of that came from Kevin Patullo because it's nonsense if you watch Jalen Hurts play and then you look at the numbers that is completely untrue. And then, of course, you listen to him talk. But we're going to get to that in a second because I want to play something for you from Brandon Graham.
I mean, you know the game inside and out. You know both sides of the ball. What do you think the real issue was on offense? We saw it all season long. I mean, the inconsistency, the three and outs. What's your assessment?
Well, you know what? I just think that if I had to assess, I would just say like we all gotta continue to keep believing, man. It was too much of the outside world, speculating and like I hear, McCoy saying what he said about Jalen. It's like, man, talk about those people, like bring it up so that we can all get things fixed. Because I don't think it's I don't think it's Jay. I don't think it's all Jay either. Like, it's a little bit of everybody because everybody always got stuff behind the scenes talking to other people, but it's like as men, we need to make sure that we bring it to the organization and talking to the organization so that we all could be heard, so that we can get things fixed. Because I don't like feeling like this. I know you don't like feeling like this. The fans don't like feeling like this. The team doesn't like feeling like this. And so, well, when he do digging or whatever he said he's digging, it's like, man, just like talk to the people that can actually get it fixed. He can't help us. He can only talk about us. You know what I'm saying? And so I just know that a little bit of that, like, just trying to make sure if we do have any issues or anything that comes up, let's keep it in. Like, let's
I mean,
Brandon Graham. Now, he did it very, very nicely, but we all know that in his own way, Brandon Graham was basically telling LeSean McCoy to go F himself, to shut up, to stop putting nonsense out there, to stop lying, to stop being a little bitch, pardon my French, because that is again the mean girl vibe. That is what LeSean McCoy is. He's a petty little immature gossiping child who doesn't like Jalen Hurts. Bottom line. And Brandon Graham just said, "Hey man, what you're saying isn't true because I'm in the locker room. I know what everybody's saying. We're not putting this on Jalen Hurts. And why don't you just stay out of it because you have no idea what's going on?" And I want to leave you with one last thing that we need to talk about, and that is, and there are lots of little clips like this. We all know Jalen is very composed, very professional, very aware of the things he says in press conferences and so forth. And I appreciate that. I really do. But sometimes when it's like so much, you kind of want him to just like nuke everybody, right? Which is just not his thing. But then you get stuff like this, right? And we're going to listen to some of the things he said, and it's at practice, so it can be difficult to hear. So pay attention.
He's got to bang it real quick. Being ultra aggressive to it, you got it.
That's what we're doing on that play. We're chasing that access.
I love to hear it. Why don't we just try and throw the post?
So he's saying, get after it, right? You can see here, throw the post, bang it out real quick, be ultra aggressive. And then Nick's like, oh, that's what we're trying to do. Nick Sirianni, as we all know, maybe the most conservative to the point of where it's a negative, right? Like you talk about some of the greats and quarterbacks that, not throwing interceptions. I know this is going to sound crazy, is there's a balance, right? If you're so conservative with everything that you're going 3 and out all the time, you never turn the ball over, that may actually be a negative. I mean, if you're not getting results, then it clearly is a negative, right? You may be better off taking more chances and having an extra turnover or two in there and overall getting better results than with what the Eagles have been doing lately. And my point being is Jalen Hurts, in his own words, if you just listen to things where you get stuff like this, audio from stuff like this or so forth, and you kind of read between the lines sometimes in press conference stuff, is this is all media contrived nonsense, right? He absolutely well, let me put it another way. He is not the reason that the play calling is what it is for the Eagles and Patullo. He is happy to be aggressive. He talks about throwing the post. He is not that he has no problem being under center. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league throwing on crossing routes, even though the Eagles rarely throw him. He has no problem throwing them down the middle, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right. So we've got this crap going on all the time with people like McCoy. And I just thought it was fantastic. One, to give you a glimpse of Jalen talking, but also listen to Brandon Graham call out McCoy by name and say, you know what, enough. Stop being a little girl. Now all the women listening are going to get mad. I'm sorry, it's a phrase. I didn't mean anything by it, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate it so much. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I will talk to you later.